1Ocean10. Respond code 3.
Hello everyone, as always I am 1Ocean10 and this is a tutorial on how to make a YouTube thumbnail. Now there are all different ways of doing it. This is the way I do it. I find it to be the easiest way, and I will show you here how to resize a picture from your game or anything else that you're doing, any image at all, to the proper size, and improving a little bit, and also putting on some font and making sure the font is readable at whatever size YouTube changes it to. Now YouTube has like 3 or 4 different sizes that they do on their website, so you want to make sure that on the very smallest side you can actually see the font, and that on the largest side it doesn't look like it's very badly rendered or anything like that. So we're going to be doing it with an upcoming episode that I have coming up of LSPFR. So I figured while I'm making that thumbnail, I'll actually do it to show you guys how I do it. So first I'm going to open it with Microsoft Paint. And you can see here's the full-size image. Now this is much too large for YouTube to do. They'll try to rescale it and it just won't look right. You'll have borders and things like that. So what we're going to do is first, we're going to go, I do Control W to quickly get to the resize and skew. And what I do is I skew it down to 67%. That'll bring it very close to the thumbnail size for YouTube, which is 1280 by 720. Now, it's not quite there. As you can see, if you hit Control E next, you'll see it's 1287 by 724. So it's nearly there. So I just get rid of that little 7 there, make that a 0. And same with that 4 to a 0. And bam, there is a YouTube sized thumbnail, sorry. Now what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to save it, and at that point it's now probably sized. Now you can do this in the next program as well, resizing it, but I think it's easier in Paint. But now we're going to open it in paint.net, which is a program that you can download online. It's a free program. I really love it. It's probably my favorite program that I use for editing images at all. So we're going to open that, and here it is here. Now what I'm going to do is I don't like the coloring. I like it to be like pop a little more. So what I do is I go to Adjustment, Hue and Saturation, and I just up it a little bit to give it that nice warmer color of some of like the street lights are yellowish, and it kind of makes all the other colors pop. Now if this was a daytime picture that I took, you'd really see the colors pop, but you're not going to see it here because it's a nighttime photo. So that's done. Now we're going to add the most important part, which is the font. Now you can add whatever you want, but here's what I do. You need to add an additional layer, which is this button right here. That way your font doesn't, it's on a new layer. You can do whatever you want with it. You have to change it, anything like that. Then we're gonna hit text and then click anywhere. So I'm gonna do what I do for my logos, which is I'm going to go to Bolt SF, which is my font that I use, which is also the LSPFR font, if anyone doesn't know that. And I'm going to up the size to 84 to see how that looks, and put LSPDFR. And I'm going to scale it a little bit more, I think 96. Yeah, I don't want it touching the car. I like having it not touch the car. I'm going to stick it right there. Right there is probably good. So what I'm going to do next is I always make the FR blue. This is totally up to you guys, but this is just what I'm doing for this tutorial. And we're going to make it blue and FR. And now I have to line it up, so I'm just going to zoom in really quickly and just make sure it lines up with the other font that I have right here, which I think, let's move it down one, is that right? That is even right there, I think. Yep, that's good, so we're gonna put that there. And then I'm just gonna put my other font, which of course is 1Ocean10. But that, I'm gonna have to rescale down again to, let's do 72 maybe. And I might end up putting that, well, I'm gonna have to rescale that a little bit different. I didn't get this photo quite where I wanted it. There we go. It's gonna have to do just like that. And we'll put it right there. And once again, this has to be blue. So again, this is just me. It's just personal preference. Don't worry about this if this is what you want to do with your own wording and phrasing. But there it is there, that lines up. Now the next important part is that yes, you can read this because it has a dark background, but let's say you have a white background in the back or a blue sky, and it just fades into it and you cannot read it. I really don't like that. It is always important to have a border. So what I go to is Effects, Objects, and Drop Shadow. Drop Shadow excuse me, is not part of Paint.net by default. It is a add-on. You will have to search for the Drop Shadow. I will try to find a link for it and put it in the description if it's not there. I do apologize. I don't know where I got it, but you have to search for Drop Shadow, and it will be a link to that somewhere. Now, it's going to come out as the color you currently have. We obviously don't want blue, so all I'm going to do is just drop it down to black, and there it is. You can change the wideness of it to make it whatever you want. It's usually good at 5 for me, and then the blur is kind of like the fading edges there, and you can see I can do whatever I want there. I think it was at 6, we'll leave it there. Hit OK, and then we're going to go ahead and save it. Now, when you save it, it's going to try and save it as a paint.net file. You're just going to want to change it to JPEG or whatever file type you want, and then hit save, and it's going to ask you what quality you want. 100% is the most preferable that you would want. And then flatten. Flattening will combine the 2 layers into one, so you're going to want to hit that, and bam, there is your thumbnail. So now when you go to it, here it is right here, you can open up in the preview menu, and there it is. So now when you can upload this to YouTube, it'll be the perfect size, great quality, and your videos will look very nice. So that is the tutorial for this. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want more tutorials on anything, just let me know. It's not my main series that I do here on YouTube, but if you guys want to see more, let me know. Thank you guys, and see you on the next one.